It is week 7 of the high school football season. We're entering the final stretch of the year. I'm Kurt Pegler.
And I'm Patrick Cunningham. And there are still 5 area teams that are undefeated, and 2 of them will square off Friday night.
Yeah, that game is Ridgeview Lexington at Eureka. The Hornets coming off a big win at El Paso Gridley last week. Homecoming there. Great matchup. The Hornets took the opening kick, marched downfield, scored on the impressive drive capped off by Ryland Bachman's 1-yard touchdown run to make it 7-0. El Paso Gridley's Big Ten recruit shows off his legs. Declan Dooley, the Illinois recruit, boots a 45-yard field goal in the first quarter. That could have been good from 50. Those are the first points allowed on Eureka since week 1. And the only points that Eureka gave up, Jake Moran with the screen pass to Justice Bachman. He sidesteps a couple of tacklers, and he's gone down the sidelines. The Hornets are 6-0 after a 33-3 win over El Paso Gridley.
Ridgeview Lexington brings its 6-0 record to Eureka on the strengths of wins over DMAC, Villa Grove, Tri-Valley, Fisher, El Paso Gridley, and GCMS. The Mustangs are a confident group after making school history last year by advancing to the state semifinals. And they know this might just be their toughest game of the regular season. And here's what the coaches are saying.
They do a great job getting off the ball and moving people. They have 2 really strong tight ends that do a great job on the edge and that are also very dangerous in the passing game too, especially in their play-action passing game. So those are all things we're going to have to consider this week as we get ready for them.
They've given up 10 points in 6 games. That says a lot right there. But they're such a good football team, and they're so well coached, and they're good kids. We played them last year in a double overtime, and you know, we prayed with them after the game. I just really have a great deal of respect for that town and their kids, and they do everything right.
Ridgeview Lexington at Eureka in a battle of 6-0 teams Friday at 7 o'clock.
Now, Prairie Central is also 6-0, and they're going to be playing, they're one of the other unbeaten teams. The Hawks won previously at unbeaten Paxton Buckley Loda on Friday. The Hawks scoring on their opening drive. They never looked back. That's quarterback Drew Habercorn taking it himself. Long touchdown run for the early Prairie Central lead, and the Hawks did a number on that PBL offense. Dylan Bazell with the interception, part of an impressive 51-8 win. The Hawks travel to 5-1 Mercer County for another big game this week.
And there's a great small school rivalry game in Elmwood this week. Farmington hosting Elmwood Brimfield. The Farmers opened the season with a loss to that aforementioned Mercer County team, but have gone 4-1 since that opening night setback, and they take a 4-2 record into Friday night's game. Now, Elmwood Brimfield is also 4-2. The Trojans hoping to bounce back after a loss to Prairie Land Conference leader Macomb. The Trojans, Aiden Frail, with an interception return for a touchdown on the opening possession, but Macomb would win the game. The winner of Friday's game has the inside track to finishing second in the conference. Now, elsewhere, Tri-Valley can lock up a playoff spot with a win in Gibson City Friday, and a Central Catholic win at IVC makes the Saints playoff eligible.
We'll take a look at what's happening with the big school teams in Central Illinois this week. That's when the CIProud Blitz continues.
Do you see the world the way I do? My mom says I play too many video games, but what she doesn't know is that I'm actually making more money than she is as a YouTuber.
Lacey, do you know why there's a new car in the driveway with a bow on it?
You're welcome, Mom. At OSF Healthcare Children's Hospital of Illinois, they see the world the way I do. They put kids first, with care designed just for me.
And welcome back to the CIProud Blitz here on CIProud.com. Now let's take a look at some of the Week 7 storylines for the area big school teams.
We'll start with 6-0 Peoria High. The Lions won twice last week in a 6-day stretch. After beating Manual on Saturday, the Lions turned around and beat Richwoods Thursday. Isaiah Walker recovers a Knight's fumble on the first series of the game. Moments later, Malachi Washington with the first touchdown of the night. He had 5 of them. It was quickly 7-0. After recovering an onside kick, the Lions score on their second possession. Tino Gist to TQ Webb. Beautiful passing play. Peoria High out to a 13-zip lead. They would extend the lead to 22-0. The Knights would finally get on the board. Greg Burnside with a screen pass to Lukosian Morris. Lots of room to work. He runs it down inside the 10-yard line and would score on a running play just moments later. But Washington was nearly unstoppable. 4 touchdowns on the ground, 1 receiving. This is one of his running scores. Peoria High wins it 66-12. The Lions host Bloomington on Friday night.
And there are 3 undefeated teams still in Big 12 play: Peoria High, Champaign Centennial, and Normal West. The Wildcats' only loss of the season came against non-conference foe Richmond Burton in Week 4, and they have another non-conference game this week as they travel to 3-3 Quincy Notre Dame. And then next week, West hosts Peoria High in a huge showdown in Week 8. And the final unbeaten team in the area is Mid-Illini leader Pekin. The Dragons, with a big win over Metamora last week, QB Scotty Jordan, he's going to fire downfield, and look at this leaping grab by senior Bo Benassi, puts him in the red zone, and moments later, Tanner Sprecher plunging in for the touchdown. Sprecher finished with 3 touchdowns on the night, and so did Kanye Tyler, the senior tailback, with a dazzling 21-yard touchdown run right here, part of the Dragons' 55-13 win over Metamora. Pekin travels to Canton this Friday.
Perhaps the biggest matchup in the Mid-Atlantic Conference Friday pits Dunlap against Washington. They're tied for second behind Pekin. It's our game day matchup. That means we want you to tell us which school has more spirit, Dunlap or Washington. Vote this week at the Avani Spirit Poll at our WMBD News Facebook page. And don't forget, we'll have 30 minutes of high school football scores, highlights, and analysis from your Week 7 games. That's Sports Extra Overtime Friday night at 11 o'clock on WYZZ. It's replayed Saturday morning at 11:30 in the morning on WMBD.
Well, thank you for joining us for this edition of the CIProud Blitz.
Hey, we'll see you at the games on Friday night, then back here again next week for another edition, the Week 8 edition of the CIProud Blitz.